Hello, everyone. Welcome to our analysis of Spotify track data. Today, we'll take what makes a track successful, distinguish between podcasts and music, and use predictive models to forecast success. Let's dive into the data and uncover some fascinating insights. Our dataset includes a variety of features that capture the essence of each track from its energy level to its acousticness. However, the most important of these features is popularity, which will be what determines a track's successful factor. Most tracks are clustered in the 20s to 40s popularity range in the popularity distribution. Only a few tracks shine with scores above 75, highlighting the competitive nature of the music industry. Breaking into the top popularity percentiles required standout features. The top 10% popularity tracks, there are 49 tracks in the top 10%, all of which are music tracks, which again emphasizes the challenges of achieving high popularity with only 10% songs, making it to the top 5%. Podcast versus music. We separated the tracks between podcasts and music tracks with a speechiness feature. We can see that podcasts reach a maximum score of 77, some of which are music like rap, whereas music tracks can reach 100, which shows the music is generally more popular than podcasts. We raised the speechiness threshold in hopes of filtering only podcasts, and yet the new top 10%, which is only three tracks, has two tracks which are music. This shows that there is an issue with the way Spotify filters podcasts while analyzing podcasts and music. For the top 10% of music tracks, it comes out as exactly as the same as top 10% of all tracks. This shows the dominance of music over podcasts. Additionally, when filtering the top 25% of podcasts, we find many more actual podcasts, of which many of them are in German. We then carried a correlation analysis to help us filter the most important features affecting popularity. For all tracks in music, explicit content, danceability, energy, and loudiness are positively correlated with popularity, while acousticness and instrumentalness are negatively correlated. For positive podcast, energy, loudness, valence, and liveliness are key positive correlations, while duration, acousticness, and speechiness are negatively correlated. This highlights the different dynamics that drive popularity in podcasts versus music. Analyzing all of the tracks and forecasts of all tracks, we use two success factors for our analysis. Success factor one of logit analysis, which is making any score above 15 popularity as a success, making it either a 1 or 0 for the Gini tree and logistic forecasting. Success factor two, which is normalizing the popularity data to carry a better logit analysis. We then carried a logit analysis to obtain some business insights. However, we will skip this for now, as this insights here might have some noise due to podcasts and music tracks being together. Analyzing all of the tracks through logistic regression, we can see that the true and false negatives work as intended, but the positives do not. We might need to carry some more adjustments to our future analysis. Forecasting all of the tracks with the Gini tree. After creating the Gini tree forecasting model, we can see that explicitness, energy, and loudness are most important features to determine whether a track will be above the 50 score threshold. We carried an additional Gini tree forecast using all the features to see if a different result would appear. This difference was minimal, so we'll stay with our first tree. Analyzing the music tracks and forecasting, the logit analysis remains very similar to the tracks of all tracks one. Here's the summary of all the points. Explicit language in tracks increases popularity by 67%, indicating a preference of music with foul language. Danceability boosts popularity by 40%, showing a presence of dance-oriented music over melodic tunes. High energy levels reduce popularity by 32%, suggesting intense tracks like heavy metal are less favored. Each additional decibel in loudness raises popularity by 3.5%, as louder tracks are more attractive to consumers. Acousticness lowers popularity by 55%, indicating a preference of electronic music over traditional acoustic tracks. Instrumentalness reduces popularity by 43%, showing that listeners prefer music with vocals. The logistic model is still not perfect, but it has some slight improvements over all tracks analysis. Forecasting music tracks with Genie Tree, the most important factors for music are explicitness, danceability, loudness, and energy. We do not do an additional analysis with all the features, and our test shows the same results. Logic analysis for podcasts. Here's a summary of the additional points. Each additional decibel of loudness increases popularity by 9%, indicating a preference for louder and clearer voices. Liveliness boosts popularity by 77%, suggesting that podcasts with an audience or multiple people discussing are more attractive. Each additional second in length decreases popularity by 0.1%, meaning longer podcasts tend to be less favored. Acousticness decreases popularity by 47%, implying that background music may be less preferred by listeners. The most important factors are now loudness, duration, acousticness, and liveliness. The forecasting model suggests seems to be struggling, which would be due to the fact that music tracks infiltrate the podcast segment. Understanding these insights allow us and Spotify to tailor its recommendation and marketing strategies. For content creators, focusing on identified key features can increase their chances of producing successful tracks. Thank you for watching. For more detailed analysis and the 4R code, please refer to our accompanying report.